In this video, I'm talking about the 5 things that you should expect during your hearing aid fitting appointment. Coming up. Hi guys, Cliff Olson, Doctor of Audiology and founder of Applied Hearing Solutions in Anthem, Arizona. And on this channel, I cover a bunch of hearing related information to help make you a better informed consumer. So if you're into that, consider hitting the subscribe button. The most critical appointment in your path to success with hearing aids is the hearing aid fitting. Unfortunately, the quality of a hearing aid fitting appointment can vary widely based on the hearing care professional that you go see. Hearing aid fittings done poorly or lacking attention to detail can actually slow your progress with your new hearing aids. It can also reduce your ability to make an evaluation whether or not they're actually working right for you in your day-to-day situations, and ultimately it can lead to poor or unsuccessful treatment outcomes. This is why I created a list of 5 things that you should expect when getting your hearing aids fit. Number 1 is completing a subjective evaluation questionnaire. Basically what these questionnaires do is they evaluate the subjective benefit that hearing aids are giving you. So basically you fill out this questionnaire before you get your hearing aids, and then you fill it out again after you're done with your fitting window, whether that's 30, 45, 60 days, whatever the hearing care professional's fitting window is. What this does is it lets you know, it lets the hearing care provider know if you're actually receiving subjective benefit in your day-to-day environments. My 2 favorite questionnaires are the Abbreviated Profile of Hearing Aid Benefit, or APHAB, and the Client-Oriented Scale of Improvement, otherwise known as the COSI. The reason I like the APHAB questionnaire is that it has a series of 24 questions that are the same for anyone who takes it, and you basically score it as to how much difficulty or lack of difficulty you're having in a variety of different situations. The reason I like it so much is because you can then take those scores and compare them to everybody else who has taken that same questionnaire, and it will give you an idea of how much difficulty you're having based on the rest of the general public with hearing loss. And then at the end of your hearing aid fitting trial, whenever that is, 30, 60, 45 days, you're able to compare how much more improvement that you've got based on those same questions and how you compare to other hearing aid users. The things that I don't like about the APHAB is that when you have very strict questions, sometimes people don't experience those environments. So it's really hard to give a score or a rating for someone who never goes to the theater, for instance. And so even though you can get, generalized scores and comparisons to other individuals, not everybody will experience those same environments. The thing that's great about the COSI is that it's actually very specific to you. So you can actually create statements. For instance, if you have trouble hearing your spouse at the dinner table, you can use that in the COSI, and then at the end of your fitting period, you can go back and rate how much improvement you've seen in that situation, and then what your final hearing ability is with the hearing devices. Now this is great because you can have very specific things to you and see very precisely how much improvement you're having in those important situations that speak directly to you. The negative is that you actually have to come up with very specific situations that you can use to gauge how much improvement you're having. But if your hearing care professional is doing a good job in the initial appointment that they discuss what your needs and wants are, they could be taking some of that information and helping you come up with ideas to fill in the COSI. Number 2 is the physical fit of your hearing aids. This, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated aspects of a good fitting appointment. And this goes for hearing aids that are custom molded to your ears, but that also encompasses hearing aids that go behind your ears that either have a tube or a wire that goes down into your ear canal. You see, it's for a couple of reasons. One is comfort. So if you're not going to be wearing your hearing aids because they're uncomfortable, then you're not going to get the benefit of the hearing aids. So you have to absolutely make sure during that fitting appointment that those ear molds or domes or whatever you're using are going to be comfortable inside of your ears. And if your hearing care professional identifies right off the bat that no, that's not fitting in your ear right, or it's, creating soreness even inside of that fitting appointment, then it's going to turn into a bigger problem. So that needs to be identified right off the bat. And aside from the comfort aspect, you need to make sure that the microphone orientation is right. And this is something that not a lot of people understand. Hearing aids usually have multiple microphones on them, and they have these multiple microphones in order to allow the hearing aid to identify where noise is coming from and where your speech sources are coming from. So if you, for instance, have a wire that is too long on your ear, it's going to tilt those microphones back, and it's going to think that the person you're talking to is on the ceiling and that the noise is on the floor, and that's not the case. So what you want to make sure that is happening is that those hearing aids are oriented perfectly inside of your ears to where the microphones are directed in the direction they're supposed to be going. Another commonly overlooked aspect of the hearing aid fitting is the vent size. The vent size is critical to ensure success with both the sound that you're getting and the sound of your own voice. You see, the larger the vent hole that you have, the more sound can escape that you're trying to amplify. And if that sound escapes, it's not actually going to give you any perceived benefit. The other side of that is that if you have a vent hole that is too small, it can actually create the occlusion effect, which is that sound of your own voice being really boomy or loud or inside of a tunnel. And so if you have the occlusion effect, the only way to eliminate that is to actually increase the vent size. So when you're looking at the physical fit of a hearing aid with that vent size, you need to make sure that you have the exact right vent for you to give you all the benefits of the amplification, but none of the negatives of the occlusion effect. Really important that you understand that if you get the physical fit of a hearing aid wrong, nothing else that you do after that matters. Number 3, real ear measures. Real ear measures are the only way to ensure that your hearing aids are programmed correctly for your hearing loss prescription. If you've seen any of my other videos, you probably know I'm a firm believer that real ear measures are something that should absolutely be done with every single individual with hearing aids. In fact, I have another video completely dedicated to helping you understand the importance of real ear measures. I happen to believe that is the single most important video that you could ever watch, and if you only watch one of my videos ever, that would probably be the one that I'd suggest. Number 4 is how to use your new hearing aids. If you're new to hearing aids, you probably need someone to show you how to use them. This includes identifying the left from the right. It includes turning the hearing aids on, turning them off, how to get them in your ear, how to change the batteries. All of these things are really important things that you need to be shown during this fitting appointment. And if there's one thing that I know for sure, is that you're not going to get any benefit from your hearing aids if you can't get them in your ears and turn them on. Number 5 is discussing realistic expectations. Success with hearing aids is a process, and this process should be discussed. You see, your brain has gone who knows how long without access to proper sound, and now that you're giving it all back, it's going to take time for your brain to adjust to it. I often tell my patients after their first fitting appointment is that you're going to go home for this next week and you're going to be hearing sounds that you haven't heard in a long time, and some of them you won't like. But it's important that they share that information with you, whoever your hearing care professional is, so you can have some level of expectation on what you're going to be hearing and how you're going to react to it. That'll make this whole process a whole lot easier for you and for your hearing care professional. There you go. Those are the 5 things that you should expect during your hearing aid fitting. The journey to better hearing really requires a solid foundation, and the hearing aid fitting is that foundation. If you get that part wrong or you miss something, it's really going to set you up for a more difficult time in the future. And different hearing care professionals will form this hearing aid fitting appointment differently. They might elaborate more on certain things, not so much on other things. That is fine. I think that that's one of the great things about hearing care professionals is that they can kind of take a style that they are most effective with. But really at the end of the day, you should make sure that they're following these 5 steps. That's it for this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. If you liked the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos just like this one, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time.